Hey there, welcome to Kinda Girly, where we kind of talk about everything and we're girls, so it works. And today we are going to be exploring if I am Hispanic enough, or I guess both of us as well. Yes. So one thing it hasn't been too big of a struggle my entire life, thankfully, but one thing I have been told is that I am not Hispanic enough in my past. And I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to explore on that idea. So first off, I want to talk about recognizing culture and what culture means to me and you, Emilisa. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, we are joined today with Emilisa.
She forgot about me.
You're important, Emilisa. We care about you.
Hi, how are you doing? Yes. As you can see, I have an accent, and I grew up in Mexico, so I'm pretty Mexican, pretty Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. And what is your culture, and how do you identify with it?
Oh, in so many different ways. I mean, food is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the food from where I'm from. Like, I love it. And when I go to places here, it's like I know it wasn't Mexican people in the back cooking it. Like, making the tortillas.
You know they had that love going in there.
So with my culture, I mean, I am half Mexican, half Filipina, but I grew up in Mexico. So I grew up in Mexico, so I consider myself Mexican. I mean, I'm definitely proud to be Filipina. I just don't know the culture for that. Like, I wouldn't be able to say, like me in that situation, am I Filipino enough? I will say no. I didn't grow up with my Filipino side of the family. I know some words because it's similar to Spanish, but I don't know much about the food. I don't know much about the culture, the music. Definitely not the music.
Mm-hmm. You weren't exposed to it or anything,
no, I was
around
not.
it whenever you grew up?
No.
So that wasn't something you identified with as much as your Mexican side?
Yeah, no, I didn't. So, like, every time if I become friends with a Filipino person, I want them to be like, okay, teach me about the food. Like, show me recipes. Show me, like, what do you guys like to do? Mm-hmm. Because I want to learn where I'm from.
So that you can know how you can embrace that culture,
yes,
that side of
definitely,
you.
Definitely. I mean, I'm very proud to be Filipino. I just don't know the culture, but I definitely would love to learn more about it.
Yeah,
it's like you like to you like to learn Spanish words every day. You know, like even though you understand a lot of it, you want to know words.
Yeah, and for me, I am not fluent in Spanish, but I do know that for my culture, what I appreciate about it is definitely the food, 100%. I feel like I also love to cook, so I love to explore with the food and know where it's coming from, especially me being Dominican and my father being Dominican. And also the music. I absolutely love the music. I love to dance bachata and merengue and salsa.
She can dance too.
And I really embrace those sides of my culture and recognize that in my daily life. So, but also, I wanted to know what parts of your culture you appreciate most. I know for me, I just talked about food and music. I feel like those are two big things.
Okay, I need to interrupt here.
Oh.
She said she loves to cook. Well, let me tell you, she can cook. And she's only 19 years old, and she cooks everything from scratch. Like,
Emilisa's giving me a shout out, guys.
Guys, we went to H-E-B.
Oh, no.
We went to H-E-B the other day, and I bought the cauliflower rice, the one that's already made, and just put it in the microwave. And she looked at it, and she's like, "They have those? You don't make it from scratch?"
Oh my gosh.
I had to put it out there. She can cook, so that's a very Hispanic thing. Like, a lot of Hispanic people, they love to cook. Go ahead, continue. I just want to put it out there that you can cook. She can cook. She can dance, and she's single.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Ready to mingle? Question mark?
No.
But yeah, I find like one of the most important parts for my culture, for me, because I can't speak the language, to connect to it is food and music overall, because I feel a little closer to home. my home. Yeah, not really my home, but
not your home. Yeah,
my home in a sense, who I am. There we go. That's a better way to put it. But yeah. What about you? What would you classify as important in your culture?
The language. But it really depends. Like in your situation, everybody in your family speaks English.
Mm-hmm.
In my family, I still have a lot of uncles and aunts and cousins, and mainly my grandparents that still live in Mexico. So that's the reason why my kids are going to speak Spanish. Because one, I want them to know where they're coming from, where is their mom from, and two, so they can communicate with their grandparents. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where there's a lot of kids out there that they cannot communicate. And it's not just Hispanic people. There's, different nationalities where you come to the States and automatically you speak English and you forget about your other language and you cannot communicate with the people you left behind in a different country.
Yeah.
So with my husband, he's American, so I taught him Spanish. So then he doesn't feel weird about it. So he's not like, what are my kids saying? Like, is he talking shit about me? Oh, Dad. So yeah, so for them, I want them to know Spanish. I want them to know the food. I want them to know the music. I want them to know everything. Like, when they grow up, if they don't like the music, if they don't like the food, stuff like that, I wouldn't mind about it. But I want them to be like, yes, I am Mexican and I do speak Spanish. Like me, I'm half Mexican, half Filipino, like I said. And I wish I could say I speak Tagalog. I speak Spanish and then I speak English. But no, just Spanish.
Yeah.
And some English.
Sometimes here and there, got a little sprinkle in there. But I would agree with that, the importance of that, because although I don't have a lot of my dad's side of the family here, my abuelo and my abuela, they don't really speak English. They don't know English hardly at all. Oh. So it's very difficult for me to communicate them when I do go visit them or do talk to them over the phone. And I do wish I had that connection, that communication with them. And although I can understand it way better than I could speak it, I do wish I could, communicate with them more and connect culturally on that level with my grandparents.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In your situation, how you actually talk to your dad and be like, Dad, why didn't you excuse me. Why? Oh, okay.
Wow, way to ruin the moment, Emilisa.
Sorry, that it was gonna come out so beautiful too, but then I had to burp. It wasn't even a burp. It was like a
kind of girly moment.
Like a
wink, wink.
How you actually talk to your dad and be like, Dad, why didn't you teach me Spanish more, constant? So then, especially because his parents don't speak English. Wait, did they speak English?
No, my abuela, my abuelo don't really. I mean, my abuelo can speak English a little bit, but not very efficiently. And I have skirted around asking my dad before. I mean, we've always joked around and given him a hard time our whole lives, but I have asked him, and it comes out to I feel he hasn't given me a direct answer. This is hard for me to answer, but I feel like it's because he had a fear of us not being able to speak English well or do well in school, like a fear of...
Yes.
And also he has been, because he is Dominican, and because he came to the States at a very young age and spoke primarily Spanish, he has been oppressed in that way and made fun of and stuff like that. So I feel like there is a trauma that stems from that, and he kind of fears that if he taught his kids Spanish,
it will be the same way.
Yeah, it would be the same way for us.
The way I see it is whenever you come to the States, whenever you start learning a language, once you're older, yes, it will be a little bit harder. Yes, you will have an accent, and sometimes the accent will not go away, no matter how much you try.
Pointing at you, Emilisa.
But I think whenever you are born and raised in the States, the way that it should be is they're going to learn English automatically. I mean, daycare is in English, TV is in English, school, parents, everything is in English. The only thing for you to be able to understand another language, it will be if it's constantly at home. Like all my brother, not my brothers, all my cousins that live in California, their parents are Mexican, you know, and like school is in English. So you don't teach him English. English is something that you learn while you're growing up. It's like something you learn when you're walking and running and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Spanish is something that you teach while you're at home. So like with my brothers, they were born in the States. I was born in the States too. I just grew up in Mexico. I'm legal, by the way. Just putting it out there. Just saying.
It's good, guys.
I don't want nobody to be like, well, send her back to Mexico.
Yeah. Fortunately, there are people out there that are like that.
They are. And it's sad. You know, it's sad because a lot of people that come to the States, they come to work.
Mm-hmm. They come for a better life.
Yeah, they don't come just to be lazy and get government help or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I was going to say with my brothers, they learn English automatically, and then in Spanish is something that we taught them at home. So now you talk to them in Spanish, they answer to you in Spanish. You talk to them in English, they answer you to in English. And the reason why is that it's because one, it's because my mom is Mexican, but two, is because of my grandparents. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be, then it's an unfortunately, is it unfortunate? Unfortunate?
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing this again like last time.
You got it.
It would be an unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Not again.
Okay.
Not another one.
That you cannot communicate with your own family member. Like that's sad if you cannot do that, because that's your grandmother. You know, like I'm very close to my grandparents.
Yeah.
And that's why I want my kids to speak Spanish, because I want them to know who my grandma is, who, you know,
be able to communicate with her and get to know her better.
For sure. Because regardless if you say that you don't need a language, you do. If you cannot communicate with your own like grandparents, I cannot imagine how sad that will be. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, why can I communicate with my own family members?
Yeah. And I definitely feel that. And that is why I feel like I've made a conscious effort to try and become more fluent in Spanish. And I'm hoping in the next few years I can become completely fluent and embrace that part of my culture as well.
Sí se puede.
Yes!
Wait, is that from Dora the Explorer?
Maybe.
Sí se puede.
Yay!
No? Well,
I don't know. I do know there's something that's like that, though. I used to watch Dora a lot growing up.
Sí se puede. Mochila. Back. Oh, okay.
Got a little song break.
Let me ask you something. What about the Spanish music? I know a lot of people that don't speak that don't speak Spanish like the music. Mm-hmm. For example, even me being Hispanic, there's a lot of Spanish songs that I don't understand what they're saying because it's in Cuban or Dominican or Puerto Rican, or it's like it has a strong accent that I cannot understand.
Yeah, like a different dialect.
Yes, different dialect. And so sometimes for me to understand them, I had to read the lyrics.
Yes.
But with you, whenever you hear a song and you don't understand what they're saying, doesn't that feel weird?
It does feel strange. Honestly, reggaeton is just hype though. Like it's hard for me like not to gravitate towards it and stuff. I don't know, just something about the rhythm and stuff is I connect with it a lot. And especially when I like a song a lot, I'll try to study the lyrics and you can translate it and practice
that can teach you
way.
Spanish too.
Yeah, it has helped a lot. But yeah, I try to if I really, really enjoy a song, I'll try to look it up and translate the lyrics on my own. And then if I can't, I use some help from the internet.
See, because the way I see it is like, okay, you don't really speak Spanish, but you listen to reggaeton. Me, I don't have no clue what Filipino music sounds like. I never heard it.
Yeah.
And it will be weird listening to it if I don't understand it. That's why I ask you because some of the songs you don't understand what they're saying. But I mean, me, I don't understand some of the songs either because they'll be talking like this, Babani Baba baby.
Babani baby.
I like Babani. I'm not talking bad about him.
But yeah, I don't know. I just I I really enjoy the rhythm and the sound of it, and I do try to make a conscious effort to understand what they're saying. Sometimes it's really hard though, because they be zooming. But yeah, I also feel like it's because I've been around it since I was so little. For in your situation, you haven't been around your Filipino culture like that, so
yeah, that's true.
It's probably a little bit different for you. But for me, growing up, I've heard that my whole life: merengue, salsa, bachata, and reggaeton.
Yeah. So with the music, I do feel Hispanic enough for listening to the music, but me being Mexican, I like some Mexican music, but I don't listen to it like I listen to reggaeton. And reggaeton comes more like from Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, like the Caribbean islands.
The Caribbean, yes. So I'm proud to be Mexican. I love their Mexican. I love some of their music. But if I want to like start cleaning my house and do dishes and do other stuff, reggaeton it is.
Yeah. Working out.
Working out, reggaeton it is.
Hitting different.
Somebody piss you off, reggaeton it is. Do you feel bad if people ask you, like what I ask you? Like, so how come you're Dominican and you don't speak Spanish? Like, do you feel some type of way when people ask you that question?
I do, in a sense. I try not to let that get to me or anything. Like, I still embrace who I am proudly.
Yes.
Regardless of whatever or whoever says anything.
I mean, especially because she's very independent and hard worker.
Oh, gosh, not again.
And she can cook. And she can clean. She went to my house to organize my cabinet. I'm a clean person. Right? I'm a clean person.
Yeah, you're pretty clean.
But
organized.
She opened my cabinet just like, what are you doing the next 30 minutes? Because I can help you. I'm like, help me with what? So she's very organized too.
Thanks for the shout out 2.0.
All right, that's it. Let's go back to the Hispanic side.
But yes, I have been told before, like it comes up in conversation. We'll be talking about what's your ethnicity? That's something I like to ask people, or people will ask me sometimes. And I'll say, oh, yeah, I'm Dominican and white. And they'll be like, you're Dominican? You don't look Dominican. You're not Dominican.
How are Dominicans supposed to look like?
Yeah, you're not Dominican. You don't look Dominican. You're white. You're definitely white. You don't speak Spanish? Oh, yeah, you're not Dominican.
Oh.
You're not Hispanic.
I was slapped enough out of them.
And
see, and that's rude. People don't mean... Sometimes people don't think before they ask.
Yeah.
Before they say something. And that has happened to me before, too. So I'm not saying I never done it. But, this has nothing to do with this. But I was just thinking how sometimes people make comments without thinking how they can hurt somebody's feelings. Like, in that situation, that can actually, like, really hurt your feelings. And they wouldn't even say it like that. They're just saying it just to say. It's like when I was really skinny, people were like, oh, my God, you're so skinny. Like, eat some food. Or like, you're so skinny, like you need to like work out. And it's like, you never think about it, but it's like people go through some stuff. And that's why you should be kind, because like, what if I was struggling with being really skinny and I wanted to gain weight, and like in your situation.
Or my cultural identity. What if I'm struggling with that?
Or like with you, like what if you've been trying to learn Spanish and you just don't get it? Or,
yeah. And I'm sure, it comes down to like educating people as well and having a conversation about it. Because I'm sure those people, they just simply don't know. Or if they are Hispanic, again, they just simply don't know how vast and unique people from these cultures can be, looks wise, culturally wise, how they apply their culture to their daily lives. But yeah, I have been asked those questions, and I don't take it to heart. I'm like, oh yeah, I just be all upbeat and show them my dad. This is my dad, look.
Is your dad dark?
He's kind of dark. He's like light skin. He's dark though. He's much darker than me.
Is he like my skin color?
He's darker than you, actually. Maybe like a couple shades.
Oh, yeah. So he's darker.
Not yeah.
Because I'm pretty dark.
Yeah, he's probably like a shade or two darker than you. But yeah, I've gotten those questions and it doesn't bum me out too much, but it just goes back to that question again, Am
Or-
I Hispanic enough?
or like when somebody says, like me, like if I say, oh, I'm Mexican, they're like, oh yeah, I can tell. Um, excuse me? Hey, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean?
Come on, man. You know there are other people that are Hispanic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then whenever people are like, oh, I can tell you're this or you look like this, I'm just like, well, you really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with my entire family, I have a huge family. It's my grandparents and then 10 kids, including my mother. And then it's like 40 cousins and we're all close.
Oh my God.
We're a huge family. And all my family, a lot of them look white. You know, they have really light skin. And then I'm the darkest one. For my entire family, I am the darkest one. But my dad, he was pretty dark. So here I am, dark.
Wow, what a life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just comes down to like who gets to define what it means to be Hispanic enough. And you know, like in your opinion, what do you think it means to be Hispanic?
I think it comes from being proud of who you are, because you can be living in the States, you can be here all your life, born and raised in the States, but your parents are from Mexico. So you're the first generation in the States. Mm-hmm. And then if you say, oh, no, my parents are from Mexico, but I'm from here. Okay, you were born here, but you are where your parents are from. That's the way I see it. Mm-hmm. And then if your parents don't even speak English and you consider yourself an American, to me, you can be an American and a Mexican. You can be American and Hispanic. You can be American with something else. Mm. But I believe that if your entire family are from Mexico, if your parents don't even speak English and all those things, and you just came to the States, if you're not proud of saying, I am from Mexico, I am from Puerto Rico, I am from the Dominican Republic, if you're not proud of who you are, then you're not Hispanic. Mm-hmm. Because you're not proud of who you are. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I could see that. And, you know, I think it comes down a lot to certain people might be afraid to embrace and be proud of that side of who they are because they've been told that it's wrong.
Or they can be, they've been through maybe people embarrass them, people bully them, or, you know, they say ignoring comments. You know, there's always people out there that will say something rude to you if you're Hispanic or if you're Asian, if you're something other than American. Mm. Like you will go through that at some point in your life.
Yeah. But I would have to agree, you know, in some sense, you know, you don't have to identify with it. Like that's just your personality, but embracing who you are, knowing where you come from and where your parents come from, and just in a sense being proud, embracing it.
Embracing who. That's exactly what I was.
Who you are. Yeah.
That sounds good. Easy.
What can I say?
Oh, okay. Embracing who you are. That's what makes you. That's what makes you.
That's what makes you Hispanic enough.
That's what. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did that.
Yes.
But yeah, just embracing who you are, and I feel like that is enough. You are Hispanic enough.
Yes.
So I think we did it, you know? We came down and figured out, am I Hispanic enough? And figured out, you know.
I mean, coming from my opinion, I think that you're Hispanic enough. Because you're proud of it. You're proud of who you are. You like to say it. You like the music. You love to learn to cook Dominican food. Like even any kind of Hispanic, you like learning. Mm. So it's like with me, the moment you found out I was Mexican, just like, okay, teach me some words. I would love to.
But yeah, go ahead and let us know, guys, what you think it makes somebody Hispanic enough, in your opinion. And if you think we said anything that you would like to add on or change.
Any questions, anything that you believe. Yeah. If you are Hispanic, if you have any concerns, comments. Mm-hmm.
Stories that you want to share and tell as well. And don't forget to follow us on, don't forget to follow us on all our social media. We do have an Instagram, Facebook. I think, we have a YouTube as well. I can't believe I almost forgot that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the YouTube is the main, most important one.
Oh. But yeah, check out our
We have MySpace too.
Oh gosh, don't even go there.
Wait, were you even old enough for MySpace?
I actually was not. I do remember it. But go ahead, check out our Kind of Girly podcast on YouTube, and stay tuned for our next episode. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.